success, um, moral values, things that the family right now structure is lacking in great demand. You know, the young man who heard the voices, he sounded like he needed mental help. And the young man who was 21, who stabbed his mom to death because she didn't push him. I mean, women held a place in our society, and they are part of the yang and the yin and the yang when it comes to relationships and the family structure. But you need a man to invoke certain things which you reflect back on. I was having a conversation with a friend, and I was saying, back in the day where, you knew if it wasn't your dad or your grandfather or somebody was coming home at a certain time, you knew you had to have your room clean. You knew you had to have done your chores. You knew you shouldn't have the TV on if you hadn't done your homework. You knew that there were things that you better have done before that male figure walks in the house. And you better not talk back to your mom. You better have the house better be clean. You better make sure your father or your grandfather eats before you eat when it comes to dinner, and you don't eat all the leftovers. There's a lot of little things, man, just respect, that has been so far removed now. And, I know a lot of young people laugh at this and think, oh man, you on some bullshit. But I'm telling you, when you have a child, you want that same level of respect. And I don't find anything wrong with that. Those are things my grandma taught me to respect, and my grandfather, because I didn't have a father either, man. My stepdad, he was the first one, he was a piece of shit, and, in a sense, he used to bully me. And that created a lot of resentment in me and anger. And I used to take it out by asserting myself on the streets to show my dominance or my masculinity. And that's how I tried to create my identity. And then later on, I realized that that was a result of what I had experienced with that, with that individual. But, my grandfather, there's things I learned from him that I still reflect back on, even though we didn't have the really in-depth conversations. But my grandmother taught me, these things that you do, and I learned that respect. And at the same time, she taught me nurture, she taught me respect, she taught me love, how to treat people. God don't like ugly. A lot of things, man, I reflect that she taught me too. So I had, and my mom also, just things that my mom showed me that I still reflect on. But having a man, I know that I didn't really have that man respect, that man perspective until I went to the federal pen and I met an older gentleman who really laced me up. I call my OG. And it gave me a sense of self, man, and put me in a spiritual place that elevated me to a whole nother level. And, we're not taught spirituality. We're not taught balance. We learn certain things from our parents, but there's a lot of things lacking. And, I try to share through my videos, different things, different experiences, and talk from the heart with you guys, because I think it's very, very important. I'm not saying that men shouldn't have a femininity, which means affection, which means a love inside themselves, but you need a masculine base so that you're not so fragile that if something goes down, you know why a woman has the ability to scream? You know why women have the ability to holler? Because they're alerting the tribe that there's danger. Men move. Men, you never seen a man in any type of old school barbarian or warrior movie screaming unless he's going into battle to tear some shit up. You're not odd. The man's not screaming. He's charging where the screaming is coming from to protect. And we're here to protect, man. You're supposed to protect your family, protect your mom, protect your grandma, your sister. You're supposed to lead. And, you know, we need more leaders. We need more men to step up to the plate. Fathers, if you have kids, man, you know, if you're dealing with conflicting issues with the baby mom, do all you can to instill in your son certain things. But this emotional, man, if something don't go my way, I got to pull the pistol out, or, you know, I gotta lash out violently because. What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916. Positivity, motivation. Never settle for average. You know how we do it over here. Go pick you up some merch at nsfa.co. And going down December 18th, 5 p.m. Pacific time, we're doing a live stream on Fresh Out. And we're gonna have the Christmas big bag giveaway with me and Sinister Monopoly. You can go to freshoutseries.com and pick you up a raffle ticket for some of the items that will be raffled off. And during the live, we will also be auctioning or selling merchandise and art. So make sure you guys mark your calendar, December 18th, 5 p.m. Pacific time, live stream on Fresh Out. I was engaging some of the fans recently, and I had put up a video about a young man who killed his mom because she didn't buy him the virtual Oculus goggles off of Amazon. And he said prior to him killing her, he actually went into her gun lockbox, unlocked it. I don't know how he knew how to unlock it, but 10 years old, these kids are smart. And he pulled the gun out and he took his mom's life. Very sad, but he had voices in his head. He said he was hearing, and I said the kid, he was, very much into video games and stuff like that. He was bullied, and I'm not blaming the video games. I played video games growing up, but I always say everything in moderation. And it doesn't appear that there was a male role model or a father figure in the house. He had his mom, his grandmother, his auntie, and then there was another man recently I did another video about. He was 21, and he stabbed his mom to death because he said she didn't push him to be a man when he confessed to the police, and he said he would do it again. And when I hear stories like this, man, it's chilling, man. It's very scary when you think about the push to feminize males, to make males less masculine. Society has carried itself on the backs of strong young men, strong cultures, strong societies. Strong young men lead, and strong young men have been the ones who have been at the forefront of any change in society, whether it be revolutions, whether it be wars, whether it be the push for freedom, protection of family. It's been young men. Older men tend to kind of fall to the wayside and observe. As you get older, you get more complacent in some degrees. Not everybody, but a lot of young, older guys don't, participate in the pushing the line as far as how they say when it comes to certain issues. But when you start really pushing a weak male culture, a culture of men who are very emotionally moved, who are easily upset, distraught. They have no core when it comes to adversity, physical challenges, mental challenges. They've never heard no or been denied or, realized that you have to work for things in life. It can become a problem. And a weak man is more dangerous to society than a strong man. Because weak men react in the way that a strong man would most likely rationalize to weigh out the options weak men react and then look at what they've done and try to assess the damages after the fact. We got to get back to some strong men. We got to get back to having males present in the household to help guide and to help lead our future leaders. If you're an adult and you choose whatever you want to do as far as your sexual orientation, hey man, that's your business. But you're pro what you are, and I am pro building strong young men to help lead the future, to bring about something. That's some bitch shit, man. That's some straight bitch shit, man. I mean, if you can't talk certain things out, and a lot of you guys need to get into some type of martial art, some type of combat sport, or physical sport, football or box, something that you learn to get hit and know that it's not the end of the world. You know, when you get punched upside the nose and you get that sting and your eyes water, but you know it's only gonna last momentarily. You keep going after that. It's not the end of the world. You know, I remember getting, jumped in the locker room by the senior classmen or the upperclassmen and getting the wind knocked out of me, man. And it wasn't like I wanted to go get a gun and shoot these dudes. I just figured, okay, I'm gonna catch one and I'm gonna thump them on the chest. I'm gonna elevate myself. But I always had respect for my mom. I always had respect for my grandmother, the women in my family. I always knew that was something I'd never crossed. And regardless of not having that male role model, I still had a level of respect. And I found a lot of my balance in the streets, which isn't necessarily a good place, but it's where I found it, and it taught me a lot about myself. So you guys out there, man, dude, holler at me, man. If you need some life coaching, bigherc916.com. Parents out there, and maybe what I put out there will resonate differently than what you put out there. But young men, watch my videos, go through and see my videos, go through Fresh Out, watch my videos. I clown around and I joke, but a lot of what I say, man, comes from the heart to try to help you guys, because I know you guys are in desperation. You guys, a lot of you are so far removed from what it means to actually stand by a code or value that you guys just, you go out ass backwards. You guys are just lining up to go to the penitentiary because you can't fight, but you run your mouth. You have no respect, and you think, it's just the way of life and it's cool. It seems, oh, I'm in prison with a cell phone, or I'm over here with these dudes, and it's like, dude, there's so much more to life than that. And you got to remember, when you leave, who's going to take care of your kids? So it's just a perpetuation of just weak men with no guidance, knuckleheads. We gotta step up, man, and try to curtail this dangerous path, man, of just destructiveness and lack of values. Men who don't stand for anything. Scary ass, soft, weak, tender foot, gremlin booty, just guys who don't stand for anything. Hey, man. Big Herc 916, man. Positivity, motivation.
Go. Hey, what does your shirt say?
Cancel culture.
Why is it crossed out?
Because over at Fresh Out, we ain't with that bullshit. Pick you up a shirt at freshoutseries.com. Hello, I'm Big Herc 916. Contact me for life coaching and motivational speaking.